check them out here on Ironic Radio Network. 8-Bit Bros. That's number 8. Then bit. Then bros. One word. I strongly encourage you to stay tuned for that. And if you want, they also have a Facebook page and a much better live show.
Yep.
Anyway, 8-Bit Bros, 8 p.m. Ironic Radio Network.
It's 8 o'clock, and you know what that means.
What's going on, people? Welcome back to another episode of the 8-Bit Bros, and happy National Radio Day, people. Happy National Radio Day. We have a great show planned for you. With that being said, this is not a kid-friendly show. Adult language, adult content. Oh, people, do the right thing and put your children in the closet.
What you just said is one of the most insanely idiotic things I have ever heard. At no point in your rambling, incoherent response were you even close to anything that could be considered a rational thought. Everyone in this room is now dumber for having listened to it. I award you no points, and may God have mercy on your soul.
Oh, how do you like that, buddy? How's that feel?
Oh, God.
How's that feel?
I'm listening to 8-Bit Bros.
Yeah, late edition. Like Ren said, put the kids in the closet, put them in another room, shove them somewhere. You know, you can't let them play Fortnite. Sucks unless you're on a console. Sorry to hear that. But yeah, Thursday, late edition. What up?
I don't know. Those phones are selling for high dollar. You can play
$1,000 and more.
10,000. I saw one going for.
Crazy. Center box gets a square. That's Ren.
What up, people?
To the left, me, web boy. To the right, that way. 846 miles south. The one and only Something Loud.
Yeah, Webb, you need to start playing some Sea of Thieves with me.
Oh, big update. Flamethrowers.
Oh, no, you're way behind.
Whatever the last update was. Flamethrowers just popped into my mind for some reason.
Yeah, you got the flaming skulls. We had one guy use one on us. But all it does is take away from the value of it when you go to sell it.
Yeah, it diminishes in value the longer it's used, I believe.
Yeah.
Yes. Anybody expecting... Too bad Louie's not here. Expecting to watch that Subway Series this weekend? No go. Mets. COVID.
So they're what, down for a week? Isn't that the standard now?
Well, we'll see. It's the 24-hour, 2 tests in 24 hours, 2 tests in 48 hours, 2 tests in 48 hours negative. Those 2 people, 2 undisclosed, 1 player, 1 staff member, will be whisked away. And then it's 2 negative tests in 48 hours, and they'll resume play. So maybe Sunday, probably a doubleheader at Shitty Field Sunday, maybe. Right now, it's just 1 game canceled. So
yeah, that killed me. Cubs Cardinals the other day. Woke up to that fucking game ending, and it was fucking a blowout, 12-3 or something like that. And then we got the other one, but
yeah, and the Cubbies now lost what? 4 out of 5 out of 5, 4 out of 4, 5 out of 5 and 5.
No,
5
out of 6.
They're 5 and 5 in their last 10.
Oh, 5 and
Yeah.
5.
5-5.
So you said they lost 5 out of their last 5. I was like, no.
No, 5-5. Yeah, I mean, for a team that had 3 losses, all of a sudden,
Yeah.
but it don't matter in that division. I mean, they're spanking their division. They'll take that division, and with 60 games, I mean, who's got a shot in that division? St. Louis, maybe. Cincinnati blows. Pittsburgh blows. Brewers, well, 500 ball. See how that happens there. But yeah, no Mets. Not that it matters. They suck anyway. Although they were starting to get hot. If you're a Met fan, then you thought they were starting to get hot. While the Yankees are, can't beat Tampa Bay. Lost first place today.
Well, you did say that Tampa Bay could very well take this whole thing. So,
Yeah.
is it really a surprise that the Yankees lost?
No. Tampa Bay is just hot bats. I mean, they're 9-1 in their last 10. They're on fire. There's your in fuego. Same thing with Houston.
Yeah, I miss being the team that was doing that. Damn it.
Any thoughts on the Reds announcer? What was his name? Burr something. Tom Berliner. I can't remember his fucking name. Got himself fired.
Okay.
Got himself. Oh yeah, got himself fired. Homophobic racial slur on air during pregame show. What did he spew out? He spewed out something to the fact that the city was full of fags. Yeah, that's what he said. City was full of fags. Got himself fired.
I'd imagine.
I know. Look,
You got a caller?
don't know. Bring it in. Don't know if he should have been fired. I mean, a lot of people just get suspended and then pushed around, a la Austin Dillon. Is that who it was? He's still racing. In a NASCAR sanction.
No, he's not.
Yeah, he was racing fucking sprint cars or some shit like that.
That's not. No, Austin Dillon had COVID, was
Austin
out
Dillon
last
got
week, is to
COVID.
come back
Right.
this week for Darlington. You're talking about
Right.
Kyle Larson.
Yeah, Larson. Right, Larson.
Yeah, he got for his e-racing comment.
Yes.
He
Yes.
got disbanded pretty much from.
Can Howard Cosell called black people monkeys?
Yeah, I
He's
understand.
still
But that was then. This is now. The times are
I
different.
know.
That shit's not okay.
But he got spanked too, and would disappeared for a little while, and then they brought him back. And
Who?
Mark Albert,
Bro, who
fucking
back?
Howard Cosell.
I don't give a shit about. We're not talking about ancient times. We're talking about right now shit.
No, my point here is he shouldn't be fired. He should be suspended, whatever. And then next year it'll be after the elections.
That's not going to happen with everything that's gone on in this world in the past.
After the
6
election,
months.
nothing's gonna matter. Come on. If you don't believe that, then open up your fucking Google and go fucking look at 4 years ago. Because everything that's happening right now is exactly what happened 4 years ago. And after the elections, it magically disappeared. Disappeared.
January will disappear, not
Dis-
November.
Disappeared. What up, Louie Lou? Same phone number. Did you move?
No, it's
Right,
not.
But I'm using my cell phone.
It's the alternate number. It's not the same phone number.
Oh, okay, because that still
Right.
comes up over here as
It's the alternate number.
Louie Lou. But
Yeah.
what do you think of the Mets Yankees? No Mets Yankees. What do you think, Lou? Do you think they partied in fucking Florida?
A little too much, maybe. That's the problem.
Strip club, probably. Sure, we'll
It's like,
find.
is that with getting wings or without getting wings? Oh, sorry. I had to throw that in.
Yeah, hey, that's fine. Comedy's comedy. We like that. Whether it's shitty comedy or good comedy, we don't care. Caleb, you should call.
I like to
you
pull
like
a comic,
But yeah, I mean, it's fucked up. I mean, I said this. Was it last week, Thump? When I said you're fucking just stay in your bubble.
Yep.
I got to do it.
And
So-
specifically mentioned going to strip clubs.
I mean, we don't know what this case is, but I mean, it is Florida. It's probably a bar or a strip club. Gotta be.
It's gotta be a bar. It's gotta be a strip club.
I'm sure we'll find out when more positive tests come in the next 2 days. Because, it's never just one person. St. Louis. How many people on St. Louis Cardinals? Half the fucking team?
Just about.
Miami Marlins. Half the fucking team? Yes. So I'm sure this is going to explode even more. And just
Yeah.
fucking guys stay in Queens and stay the fuck out of the Bronx. That's all I have to say to the Mets. Stay the fuck out of the Bronx. Okay?
Just
Your
stay in the
shot,
bubble.
yeah, your shot at the playoffs there, Mets, is slim to none. Even though fucking half the league is going to go to the playoffs, you ain't got a shot.
It's messed up.
You think
Bronx,
it's-
on the other
it's-
hand,
yeah.
good shot. Good shot. That means just possibility of making more money via a la DraftKings. So stay the fucking Queens. And I have no racial comments about that. It's Queens. That is the name of the fucking borough. You know, I hate the Mets. Hate the Mets.
Queens.
The Mets. But yeah, fucked up. It's just I don't get it. We've talked about it before. Stay in your fucking bubble. We are. Wear a mask.
Yeah, but the MLB doesn't have a bubble.
Jesus Christ, I've been in a hospital 17 straight days. No COVID. Don't you think being in some sort of healthcare facility is probably the worst fucking place to go?
Apparently not.
No, not anymore. Don't seem like it, which is a good thing. But 17 straight days, I'm still good. Check my temperature.
Oh, good.
I had an argument with the woman. Why are you checking temperature? Fauci said it was no good during the summer. It's no good. They didn't like that comment at all. Not at all.
I didn't get-
What are you guys drinking? Anything
Water.
good? Well, you got a.
Sound like-
That's got
Daytime IPA.
Yeah, you can't see any of that, but yeah.
Lagunitas Daytime IPA.
Yeah, that's not a bad beer at all. I'm drinking, what the fuck am I drinking? Red Skies at Night by Jersey Cyclone Brewing. Still have a couple of these for you.
You're drinking something that's named from a song from the Six. Okay.
That's right, Red Skies at Night. That is a song from the Styx, wasn't it?
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
it was.
And then one thing led to another. Oh,
Anybody do DNC
why
last
didn't you just shut me up?
night? Anybody
Nope.
watch? No, didn't watch it. Obama gave a great speech. Man can speak. Still an asshole, but he can speak. And he actually makes you feel good when he speaks. It's kind of weird.
Not really.
Yeah, he does. He's got some fucking, I don't know, je ne sais quoi about him.
Which in English means
Which in English means he's got character and charisma.
okay. He's got
He-
character.
He's well
I've heard the
spoken.
expression. I just didn't realize the translation.
Yeah, he's well spoken. You know, I just still think the Democrats are a little crazy. Want to tax the
I
rich.
think it's-
Hasn't history, people? Go look it up. Just do your history about taxing the rich. And just go figure it out. I don't even want to get into it because, well, J7's not here. When she calls in, I'll get into it. But
Tax the
taxing
rich, they relocate.
Tax the rich don't work. Yeah, and not not so much a matter of relocating. I mean, why do you think everybody wants to see Trump's tax return so hard? They want to know what kind of fucking loopholes he used. Okay, when Kennedy was president, we had 90% tax rate on the rich. How'd that work out? They figured out every fucking loophole in the world, and nobody paid more than like fucking 30-something% if you made over $1 million. Reagan brought it down, and another president brought it down. Now we're taxing the rich at 41%. That's not enough. What do you want to be, fucking England or Ireland? Tax everybody the same at 54%? Give me half your shit, bro.
Yeah, right.
Give me half your shit. How much you make this year? 100 and something? Give me half your shit. I want half, Eddie. Half. That don't work. It doesn't work. It doesn't work. And with other presidents, what they did was they lowered the tax rate and closed the loopholes. Took them away. That was smart. That was definitely smart. Hurt people, but the deficits were lesser. But if you want to do the same thing again, close more loopholes. Instead, you want to fucking make community colleges free. Who's paying for that? How? How? Thump, you want to know what New Jersey's going to do? You ready for this one? You'd love this as a
Yeah.
fucking homeowner.
Yes.
Okay? Another tax on top of your homeowner's tax and your state tax. They're just going to call it a city tax. It's on top of your homeowner's tax.
Oh,
So
yeah.
oh yeah. So I mean, New Jersey's fucking $10,000 real estate tax. Now they're gonna have to pay a house tax. Hello, how's that work?
It doesn't work.
Just gotta raise money. Gotta raise money.
Well, I mean, states
you
are
gotta pay
hurting
for it.
because of all of this too, and they're losing
Oh,
money,
sure.
and they're trying to find every way they can to make it back. So some of that is just Corona
Oh, and it's gonna get worse. because
financial
you-
reactions. Yeah, because
you know,
nobody has figured out how to go out into public properly.
Right. Plus, not only that, the restaurant business is dead.
Yeah, but
Done.
we all know that they could be different if people knew
Yes.
how to go out in public properly.
Well, hey, look, you can't go to sporting events, you can't go to concerts. A lot of states in this country will not. I mean, New Jersey's trying to make it so you can't fucking go and vote online. Mail-in vote only. Fuck you. Then you got other places like California going, oh, well, fuck this. We'll just open up Dodger Stadium and put polling stations in there.
Yeah.
Place holds 80 fucking thousand people. And now, what? How many more? 27 more sports venues are going to open their doors for voting?
Yeah, that's all of them. There's two
I
or three different groups that have been pursuing getting stadiums to do this. Like LeBron's with one group that was working on some people, and then there's another like Get Out and Vote style campaign group that is also employed a couple of. They had 13 stadiums under their belt that they had gotten to agree to it. So the 27, I think, encompasses what these three groups have managed to pull off so far.
Smart.
Yeah,
Smart.
outdoor stadiums that can fucking do stuff like that. Yeah, it's great.
You know, mail-in voting, is it bad? I don't know. Is it easily tampered with? Yeah. Yeah, that's definitely easily tampered with. I mean, you know, is it a matter of somebody fucking with your vote or just throwing your vote in the garbage? We just saw those videos of the mailman running around and fucking destroying Trump shit.
Yeah, it's not
does-
real
you-
surprising.
Right. I mean, you know, that happens, but now you're talking about mail-in voting. And it's funny because everyone's like, well, the president did it. No, he didn't. He used an absentee ballot. There's a big fucking difference between just mass mailing crap and applying. See that key word there, people? Applying for a
Yeah.
ballot.
For the absentee ballot, yeah.
Right. Which means it's tracked to you and tracked back. And then this shit with ballots showing up when the barcodes are identifying whether you're a Republican or a Democrat. Oh, that's just not good if that's true. I have not received a ballot yet to verify that information. I can't find a sample ballot online for the state of New Jersey, for my town,
Oh yeah.
for my county. I have not been able to. I can find the primaries that we just had in July or June, July, whenever it was. Find that no problem. Cannot find the presidential ballot for November 3rd, 2020 for my county, the state of New Jersey, online anywhere. Even if it just says fucking sample across it, not for use. Just want to see it. Okay, in your primaries, there was no Libertarian Party. I don't understand why they didn't get to fucking figure out who was going to run as an independent. How come it's just Democrat and Republican? Why can't I go and say,
Or
Huh.
independent.
but yeah, right, no, it's not there, Lou. Did you go vote? It's not there. It's
No.
not there. Your choices were Trump, Sanders, or Biden. Was it. No independents, no Joe Jurgensen, no write-in vote, no nothing.
Wow.
That was it. Primary. So, independents whatever party you want to call yourself, you're still lumped in as an independent. You don't matter in the primaries. That's bullshit.
Yeah, there's no primary polling location for.
Oh, that's bullshit.
Yeah, that's what they've constantly been complaining about is the fact that they're not they're not even given the opportunity to be represented.
Yeah, I can't vote in the primaries.
Like
I'm
if you
registered
don't
to vote.
declare for what, like look at how many Democrats ran this year. Okay?
Yes.
But hold on.
Well-
No. Here's the point of that statement is
Mhm.
look at the amount of Democrats that were able to register and be on primary ballots.
Yep.
Fully represented by that department, where none of the others are allowed to be on any ballot up until the election ballot, and only if they can spend enough money to compete with a Republican or Democratic Party. It's about competing with these two big money parties because the candidate themselves doesn't even pay the lump sum of that. They are represented by PACs within the Democrat, or the Republican Party. Like they're represented by smaller groups within the larger organization, and then as that lumps in, they concentrate their funds more and more to the final push for whoever gets office. Where, like you said, liberal or the independent hasn't got a voice. Like, there are just so many independents, and they don't lump any funding into anything. Like, when their people drop out, that's the end of the story for that party. The Green Party, the Tea Party, the fucking whatever.
Right.
Like,
Yeah,
every
exactly.
independent little group that's out there, like, once their candidate drops, that's the end of that movement in any way, shape, or form. Where the Democrats put up 20 fucking people this year until they dropped and dropped and dropped and dropped. And then somebody else finally goes, okay, now we need to make this a little finer. And other people decided to drop because they didn't want to deal with more Bernie Biden problems than they were going to have to, you know. And that situation got rocked out a little bit more. And
he's on the ticket. Why?
because
I mean,
he
I
had
understand
two,
why.
he had
300. Yeah.
no, he had two people also during the Democratic National Convention nominate him
Well, that had to be
for the
because he had-
position. Well, because of his number of delegates,
Yes.
right?
Right. his
And that's
delegates
why
was-
he was on the card still.
Yeah, he had 1,000 delegates, I believe. but
Yeah,
it's
it's
over
because of the number of delegates he's got. He was,
Just turned around
and so
was-
there are two people nominated him per request of the Democratic Party to represent the symbolic nod of representation.
Yeah, that's historic. You know, in the way ballots and voting work. And then all he does is go, well, my voters should vote for for Joe Biden. Okay, great. Then just don't put him on the fucking ballot, because now you're on the ballot and people will vote for him. I guarantee he gets over 100,000 votes. I'll drink to that.
After I just got done pre-show telling you I can't drink to that.
I know.
I drink to that are those days are gone until I decide to switch positions.
Yes, minimal, absolutely.
But it's weird because then I become a driver and I probably want to
Maybe-
drink even less at that point.
I don't know, 348,000 votes. That's what I say Sanders gets. Maybe he gets more. Maybe he gets 1 million. There's a lot of people out there like Sanders.
Yeah, but he
Motherfucker.
doesn't get the main ballot.
Yeah, he's on the ballot. He's on the main ballot. Your choice, Biden or Sanders. He's on there. That's it. It's Trump, no other fucking Republicans. Biden, Sanders, Joe. After that, I have no fucking clue. Is there a Tea Party running? Anybody? You can't find a fucking ballot. Show me a Somebody find any presidential ballot. Don't care what fucking.
It's not out yet because the primaries aren't done.
Primaries are done, aren't they?
No, there's states that put holds on their primaries due to COVID.
Stupid. Presidential voter.
I mean, maybe they are by now, but I know a lot of the states back in March, April, and May were pausing all their
Image.
primaries until either end of July or August.
See, okay, it shows me last year's. I mean, it's Jill Stein. That's last year's. I mean,
And until the conventions are done, no ballot will come out.
oh, what are they going to do? Fucking print them on onion skin and mail them to everybody within like one day? Because we know post office can't do that. They just killed a bunch of chickens. Poor farmers. I didn't know you could even mail livestock. Did you know that?
Mm-hmm.
You did?
Mhm.
Seriously, I'm being honest. I had no idea you could fucking mail chickens in the mail. Like, what do? Stuff the fucking mailbox full of chickens? I mean, do you take a box of chickens to the post office? How does that work?
You take a box of chickens to one of the processing facilities, and you can get anything moved across the country by either one of the 4 big services, or you can go to independent contractors that.
Sure, yeah. Well, that I kind of figured. I mean, if I wanted to mail chickens across the fucking United States, I'd probably use FedEx
Oh, yeah?
or DHL or one
Yeah,
of them.
FedEx, DHL, UPS. I mean, there's.
Yeah, one. But the post office, I would have never even in my wildest dreams imagined that you could do that.
Why not?
I don't know.
They're the original of all of those other services you just named, so why not?
Yeah, because I want my chickens to get to the next day. And the post office, you can't mail shit the next day.
Yes, you can.
Yes, you
You
can.
can do priority next day.
Priority would next day, which you get that letter. We're sorry, it'll be there tomorrow. I mean, and priority with the U.S. Post Office is like $54 fucking dollars, where with UPS it's $11.59, or FedEx at $12 for a letter. I don't know how much a chicken costs. We should look that up. How much does it cost to ship a chicken? I mean, can you do that with cows too?
No.
Because those kind of animals got to be on vented vehicles. I mean, I've seen cows transported. I've ridden along with horses being transported, and they're in those fucking 18-wheelers with holes drilled through the side and shit like that, or you know, the horse carriers.
That's
you got a race horse.
ultimately, like, as far as the cows and horses part is concerned, those are like high-end domesticated almost fucking type of animals. Chickens usually just slap together on a fucking flatbed somewhere all caged up, but pigs and goats, like, those are like idyllic farm style animals, not
Yeah, but those are transported via like cattle transportation companies.
right.
An average livestock transportation costs $1.35 per mile for shorter distances and 86 cents per mile for long distances.
Mm-hmm.
Livestock transportation, uship.com.
Mm-hmm. I mean, we know that other companies said we could do it better and faster, and that's why these other companies exist. I mean, cattle trains were cattle trains, but like when you're talking about, like, think about certain livestock that comes from other countries. Like, we know certain animals aren't even native to the continental U.S. And we do have farms of them here, so.
Okay, here's some interesting information. The United States Postal Service is still the only mail service that allows live chicks to be shipped. They also will ship day-old ducks. Day-old ducks? What is it, like fucking bread that's stale? It's a day-old duck? Emus.
A day-old duck.
Yeah, what is it, a half-dead duck? We can only ship half-dead ducks. Emus, geese,
Quack, quack.
guinea fowls,
So they're all about the fowl.
Ooh.
partridge.
I wonder if they send the pear tree with it.
Probably. Who knows? Pheasant, quail,
No.
and turkeys.
Maybe the inkwell.
So they're the only. So wait, the post office is the only company that still allows birds to fly.
They're the only ones. Yeah, they're the only ones that will ship a bird. No one else ships birds.
Why would you want to ship a bird?
I who the fuck know? I mean, you got to get chicken somewhere.
So
mean,
that
think
means we could completely could have been misunderstanding when we see a chicken hauler going down the road. We think it's just a chicken hauler. It's probably just the post office.
Right? But now, is it chickens? Because it doesn't say chickens.
It said chicks and day-old ducks.
Chicks. Right, day-old ducks, emus, geese, guinea fowl.
Like,
partridge,
so
pheasant,
would they
quail,
expect
turkey.
you to? The day-old duck thing still kind of got me a little puzzled on. Like, I'm trying to figure, like,
Yeah.
they'd have to know that it's more than a day old from hatching before you're allowed to send it. Like, you can't hatch an egg and take it to the post office. You got to hatch an egg, wait a day, and then take it to the post office.
According to mypetchicken.com.
Oh, God.
What?
Yes, according to mypetchicken.com, someone asked this question: can you ship my chicks via UPS or FedEx? No, sorry. UPS and FedEx will not ship chicks. Only the United States Post Office will ship chicks, and they have been doing it since the 1800s.
Yeah, see, that I'm not surprised. Like I said, they are the first company of any of these other companies that were like, we'll take your shit wherever.
So if you've got less than 15 chicks, you can express mail those bitches.
Woo!
That's what I'm trying to do. You put it in one of them fucking express mail envelopes, just stuff your 15 chicks in there and go drop it off in a fucking Dropbox somewhere.
Express mail envelope.
Right? I mean, that's what it is, right? It's one of you get one of them oversized express mail envelopes that's got to fit less than 15 chicks.
It
Then
wouldn't.
You can put it in a priority overnight box, bro.
But that can't go express mail priority overnight.
Sure it can.
No, that's priority overnight. We're talking express, next day express, so they arrive fast. And then you cannot overnight chicks.
Because they're not allowed to fly.
Yeah, exactly. So it's got to be like a 3-day shipping period.
Or what are we talking? First class mail, priority express mail.
Express mail. So it's got to be priority.
Priority express mail.
Packaging, priority express mail packaging. That's what we want.
Yeah. I'm looking at 2 boxes.
Yeah.
Does one of them have a hole in it?
They got to have holes. Well, maybe 9. That's the farmers. They just got like fucking 1,500 dead chicks. Oh, by the way, that's Trump's fault. Just in case anybody was wondering, that's Trump's fault. That's Trump's fault the chicks died. PETA should go after him. PETA should go after him. And nobody else. Nobody else. Because the chicks died. Do you know that when you ship chicks, there's usually like 1 or 2 dead by the time they get there? That's an acceptable loss.
Yeah, I wouldn't think any different.
Yeah, no, I learned a lot about it today watching all this shit on TV.
Right.
The poor little chicks that the farmers didn't get. But
I mean, that's a huge loss, though.
Oh yeah, no, yeah.
But I don't know what the size of the order was either. So.
Oh, I think it was the whole order dead. Top stories. It's out here. So I had the article in front of me, and then I closed it. And I mean, because not for anything, it does show the lack of what's going on with the post office. When I mean, look, your mail don't get to you. Okay, it'll be there tomorrow. It sucks when it's not your fucking paycheck. It sucks when it's not your meds. I get it. Trust me, I get it. But we're talking about live animals for the farmers who, I mean, if you're following the fucking news, I mean, one whole state just lost their entire crop for the season.
True.
Is that Iowa? I think it was Iowa. Lost all their fucking crop. Flattened. Gone.
Be like that sometimes.
Oh, and by the way, the wildfires in Florida, in California, definitely Trump's fault. It's totally Trump's fault because he controls the weather too. It's Trump's fault. But I mean, the chick thing is a big deal. I'm sorry. I mean, that's what the farmers. This is where you get your eggs from. They got whole new chicks they're gonna grow. This way we can kill off the old fucking chickens who are not producing their 4 or 5 eggs a day, or I think it's like something like a dozen eggs a week is what they look for from the chickens. Is like a dozen eggs a week. Poor fucking things have to get laid all the time. Such a tragedy. But you got to rotate that stock out, and there are farmers out there now who are going, "Oh fuck, I got a bunch of old chickens who aren't laying many eggs anymore, and now I got no new chicks." You got to order more, obviously, but I mean,
Yeah, the priority overnight, the motherfucker's there too.
Yeah, how many?
The first thing they got to identify is what happened to cause this problem.
Shipping delay. Trump took the mailboxes out. Couldn't stuff the chicks in the mailbox.
Okay, let's take away the political aspect of this that you're obscurely just fucking bullshitting it with, and let's get down to some real conversation about it instead of being a bunch of Nancy boys trying to fucking prance around the fucking political platform together.
It was a delay in the supply chain.
So they got held up.
Yeah.
How long?
I think it was 2 days. If I read I'm trying to find this. Let me see if I can bring this article back up. Yeah, let's try that. See if that comes up. Baby chick, no, day old baby chicks. You can get day old baby chicks too. Did not know that.
Yeah, one would figure that like they're, and we know that some of this is definitely like pretty much lab bred chickens.
There it is. Thousands of baby chicks shipped from New England farmers have arrived dead since the post office cut operations in recent months, adding to concerns about mail delivery distribution. Hayden Gooch, 29, who raises broiler chickens, I don't know what that is, on his farm in Monmouth, Maine, said he received 500 dead chicks over his last 2 shipments, losing about a fifth of his stock each time.
Okay. Yeah, see, because I was still thinking, I'm like, those numbers seem relatively low. Even the big number you gave me seemed relatively low. That the order had to be significantly more than that because of a certain level of acceptable loss, and then this is concerning loss. But it's not. It didn't sound like it was to the point of crop devastating loss in most cases.
Okay, what he is saying, Mr. Hayden Gooch, over 6 years of his farming, he can't remember losing more than 25 in a shipment. And for him, he's saying, he says, I'm kind of freaked out. For me, that's a significant loss. You're talking thousands of dollars in lost revenue each time.
Right, right.
Farming is such a thin margin to begin with.
Yeah. I mean, I can see how for the individual, yes, but the original number that you gave sounded spread across a bunch of people, that it was significant for all of the smaller groups, but for the larger per capita, like, this didn't just kill the industry of eggs in Maine.
No. Pinnegree, I don't know who Pinnegree is.
But it's concerning.
4,800 chicks arrived in New England with all of the animals dead.
And this is probably being caused by shipping delays that, of course, they're going to pin to the fact that far apart were his last... We need to know how far apart his last 2 shipments were.
Yes, there definitely needs to be...
Because context with that, if you can predate the previous shipment before any of this took place, like before COVID, is what I'm imagining, that this last shipment, over the last 2 shipments, that one of them was a pre-COVID thing, and I don't think that goes into where shipping issues would occur. At that point, like there's something else that's happened that's not just postal delay that's causing this type of thing.
Fact check correction. The Postmaster General granted permission to mail chicks in 1918.
1918. Even though they were probably doing it before that?
Yeah. Most likely. Newborn chicks can survive 72 hours. What is that, 3 days?
Yeah.
3 days without food or water. Water. I said that like a total New Yorker.
So
Uh,
that puts these chicks within the platform of even during a shipment delay, because they said it got held up for a couple of days.
Yes.
Specific wording that was used. If we analyze it just as that, then these chicks were within that limit. So this is still possibly something else that may be unrelated,
Sure.
and it just happens to fall in the lap of a postal problem at a vulnerable point for the postal
Sure.
period.
Maybe they were held up.
So
Getting
I don't like
them.
jumping to conclusions. That's why I
Yeah,
was
no,
like, let's get out of the politics of it real quick, and let's
Yeah.
like take a step back and look at this story and
Well,
see
let's
what
see
the
that-
story really is. Because
problem
there's
is
got to
when
be
you-
some kind of other
Yeah.
answer here going on. Because I know you were just being facetious with the
Yeah,
this is Trump's fault.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I was like, well, what the fuck is really causing us to lose like this chunk of chickens to this area of the country?
Yeah. Here's a statement. Who said this?
Because that's vital to the infrastructure that we as people should be concerned about.
I don't know who this Pinegray guy is. I got to look this up and see here. But he says only because of what I would call these made-up problems at the post office, a system has broke down that has worked for well over 100 years. Pinegray said in a telephone interview. It appears to be either the delaying of mail or the mishandling by private contractors. So it is quite possible, like they had the chickens all packaged up, and they didn't make the fucking the drop box, the ship, the truck.
Right.
So the next day, knowing that chickens can only survive, or chicks, 72 hours without food or water, thanks from the nutrient of the egg yolk that they ingest. I mean, these are big chicks. These are like hatchlings.
Yeah, well, inside my facility, and that's why I was looking at this the way I was looking at it, is because inside my facility, I have a belt.
Go put the chickens on and make them run?
Well, I'm responsible for 12 doors, right? That's my section. So there's 12 doors at any given moment. I could be on any one of them. And they have belts that go over to the sorters, who have, behind each sorter, there are 10 belts that are divided by color code to make 20 belts. Left side of one belt, left side of one belt, right side of a belt. Those are 2 belts, technically, but it's only 1 belt wide. Once it gets a little further up, it drops off to the left or drops off to the right, and you have to put the package to the left or the right side to match up with where it's supposed to be sorted out to. They also have a belt behind them that is on the floor, and they have one in front of them above their head. And then when my shit comes out, it goes down to the left. Everything else goes to the right. There's a belt that comes in that is called the resort line. And that is for anything, if there's not a truck ready to receive packaging, they will get shipped back into the facility to be resorted and distributed back into the system until a truck's made available. And so something like that could very well happen with the occasional package. That's why 2-Day and other stuff has another package that it goes to, and its priority shipment is in a better line of how it runs. But all the other shit, like if your package ends up a day late, it's probably because it got held up and then might have got held up again because of where it got held up the first time, and then it ended up going back through the facility a couple times. And that line is also used for missorts. So if somebody sends something the wrong fucking way, it gets down to the other end and they go, this ain't supposed to be here. It goes back to that line.
4,800 chicks. It was 4,800 across one state.
Yeah, but I mean, we're probably talking like 30,000 to 50,000 chickens that you lost 4,800 to.
Well, if I'm reading this correctly, it was the latest shipment. At least 4,800 of these adorable fluff balls.
Oh yeah, man, they're the cutest things ever.
Yeah. Okay. The Pinegray, the one I was referring to before, that's Congresswoman Shalee Pinegray of North Haven. Here's her spin on this, because now keep in mind all these chicks were sent to farms, right?
Right.
Okay, they're all sent to farms. Some of them are egg chickens. Some of them grow up to be your fucking lunch or dinner.
Right.
Like Mr. Schmutz over there. He grows his chickens for table consumption. This fucking bitch turns around and goes, "Can you imagine? You have young kids and they're getting all excited about having a backyard flock, and you go to the post office and this is what you find, dead chickens? None of these chickens were for fucking your backyard." Okay?
Right. Well, that's why I also wanted to stop your spin there at the beginning of it too. I was like, let's just really go into the story and not go off in these people's tangents, because these people will fluff this shit in a lot of different directions that ain't necessary.
Yeah. So all the chickens were shipped to Maine and New Hampshire, and they came out of Massachusetts and Pennsylvania.
Hold on. I'll be right
So there-
back.
There's your supply chain issue is something there in Pennsylvania and what did I say, New Hampshire? It's fucked up. It sucks. Little chicks. They're so goddamn cute. So cute. Ren, you posted out about Uber today. And Lyft.
Yeah,
got their
appellate
stay.
appeals court.
Yeah, they got their stay. Which is pretty damn good. Made the stocks jump up. I got. Here, we got a pen, Ren? You don't even need a pen. SE. Probably out of your price range, but take a look at it.
Okay.
SE. It's like $138 a share, and they just got to buy a rating of 180. It's been floating around in my family since the strike price of 23. Airbnb to go public, IPO.
Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah, that's another one you want to watch. That's a long haul stock. Airbnb seems to be the only one right now who can actually fucking rent rooms. They've done 1 million already this year versus, like hotels.com or any other fucking site who ain't really booking a goddamn room anywhere. Did you know the average stay by Airbnb is only 4.3 days?
I'm not surprised. Short
I-
stays.
Yeah, weekends.
Mhm.
Yeah, weekends.
Friday to Monday.
Yeah. Thump missed that, so I'll throw it out there. SE Thump
What
stock.
about-
SE. Look it up. Do a little research on it. They just got a buy rating of 180. Yeah, I don't want to call it a cheap stock, but I think it closed today up, I don't know, $4 or $5 and 138 or something like that. They are the Amazon of Indonesia. Doesn't sound like a big deal, but third world emerging markets copying what's happening here. And we all know Amazon is a northeastern global company. United States, Canada. I think they do business in England too.
C Limited.
Yeah, C Limited. As I was just telling Ren, I think it closed 138 today. That stock's been floating around in my company since it was $23 a share.
It's
Excuse me,
sitting.
my
It's sitting
camera.
at 152.64 right now.
Is it 152? Okay, the other one I'm thinking of is 130. I know 152. It got a buy rating of 180. There's fucking 20 to 30 bucks free money.
It went up on another 0.07% after hours.
Yeah, they pay dividends and they make no money and they beat earnings all the time. Go figure. Go figure that one out. They're in debt like $1 billion. And yeah, it's I have my buy order in. I think it's pretty decent. You want to annoy your friends? Hey Lou, here's one for you. You want to annoy your friends and tell them they should vote and they should vote and they should vote and they should vote. It's the same thing I keep saying. It's the same thing we keep saying. Vote, vote, vote. You guys an app for that.
Right.
There is an app for that. Vote with me. There's an app where you can see if your friends have voted and annoy the shit out of them to vote. I don't know how this fucking app works, and it's probably some trickery going on there, but it's a free app that helps you make the most impact in upcoming elections by helping you see which friends need your reminder to vote. available for
It's got to
Android.
be something by change.org.
I don't know. It's a Tuesday company. I don't think it has anything to do with change.org.
Oh, I read about this.
Yeah.
Tuesday Company. They're in a whole world of shit. Or
Well,
they were, at least.
They were. I don't know if they still are. I mean, they got in trouble over the 2018 election cycle, if I'm not mistaken. But it's a cool little idea. You can annoy the shit out of your friends. Vote, 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 vote. You know, but like we said, it's important. I will vote this year. With hands down. I vote in the primary. I vote in the elections. I can't vote in primaries. I'm not allowed. Not
That's
allowed.
because you're aligned to a party.
No, I'm independent.
That means you're aligned to a party because the independent is a party.
Yes. You
So
can't
you're
not be
part of
aligned.
the independent party.
You can't not be aligned. To a
Yes, you
party.
can. It's
Hey.
called undeclared.
Can you do that?
It's
Then you
exactly
can't
what
vote
I
any-
am.
But then you can't vote in any primary period.
No, you can vote in every
you vote
primary
in all
if you want
primaries.
to.
Yeah, you get to see all of the ballots.
Really?
That's why it's called undeclared.
Yes.
Yeah,
No, you
you
can-
need to be able to look.
Have to look that up. No party preference information. Is that available in this state? I mean, I know that's California. I mean, I'm asking
I
Rent.
just did voter registration again on my driver's license when I did it online and asked me to verify what my alignment was, and I checked the checkbox that said undeclared.
Oh, look at this. You can, huh? I did not know this.
But the fact that you classify yourself as independent means you're part of the independent party, which
Yeah.
is a party on the ticket.
Yeah, I was Democratic years ago, and when I knew nothing, and then I was like, well, fuck that. I don't want to be aligned to that shithole of an operation. All I do is steal money. I don't want to be involved with that. So I switched to independent because I wanted to vote for fucking, what was his name? Ross Perot.
Mhm.
So what was that, like 1992? And ever since then,
Yes.
I've been independent. Yeah, I think it was 1992 or something like that. 96, 92. It was both of the elections. But, yeah, the Uber thing, man, it's quite interesting that the government turned around and went, yeah, all right, we'll give you 30 days to fight it out some more.
Yeah, sort your shit out.
Well, I think fight it out. I mean, I don't know. I mean, look, independent contractors, small businesses are the backbone of America. That's what we keep being told. Small businesses, 85% of all small businesses are independent contractors. So California thinks that's bad. Okay, I get it. They don't have to pay taxes. That's not true. I'm an independent contractor and I get fucking raped every year.
Actually,
Pay my
California
taxes.
California is killing people left and fucking right over all of their greed.
Well, they're
They're
pissed
they're
off.
running
What-
big money out of their state right now on a fucking on a lead. Like they've got them on a waterfall, just bleeding fucking rich people out of California.
Yeah, and you know, and not to keep up with the political themes here, but can you blame California for being broke? The
Well-
fucking I mean, they should.
Yes, you
file
can blame
taxes.
California for being broke.
Sure, yeah, because you put fucking Arnold Schwarzenegger in as a governor.
No, they're
shit.
they're broke because their collective government across their state made a shit ton of horrible fucking changes that the people were all down for the most part, and then we're like, oh wait, what does that mean? And so they're wanting to continue to. It's already expensive as fuck to live there, but they're wanting to drive up the taxing further and further, which has started like mass migration. Everybody's moving to Texas, man. Texas is a state where everybody who's got money wants to live because they don't lose more money to be there. Like I said, you start
get paid
fucking
for
with
the
rich
oil.
people's money, they move.
Yeah, you get paid for the oil. Your Second Amendment rights are protected. You're allowed to fucking just carry a gun.
Yeah, and Austin, no tax across like, what is it? No income tax.
Is Texas one of those no income tax or no state tax? I can't remember which one it is. Texas.
It may be no state tax.
Might be no state tax like Delaware. Oh no, they have state tax 6.25%.
Okay.
California, by the way, is 7.25. New York is higher. New York is higher tax, and we, all right, we're in debt, but we're not ready to fucking file bankruptcy in New York. California is 7.25. Marginal income tax rate 12.3. For you people out there, as we keep saying, vote, 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 vote. Again, do your research.
Yeah.
There's a little sticking point that really irritates me, and when some understands and hears what I'm about to say, he's gonna be like, "What?" Okay, the Democrats want to tax your unrealized capital gains. For people who don't understand that or what that means, I will explain it to you. You buy stock. Whatever stock you buy, it's a winner. You're making money on that stock. You don't sell that stock. You have no capital gains. The end of the year, they want to tax your unrealized capital gains.
Money that
They
you
tax
could have
on
taken,
money-
they want to take anyway.
Yes. Money you haven't made, they want to tax. That's fucked up, people. That's very fucked up. That is the definition of taxation without representation.
Right.
1812 Tea Party? 1812?
Well, we
Isn't it-
already knew we were kind of heading towards another one of those situations anyway. Like, somehow this is all going to result in a lot of bad money.
And the reason why they want to do this is because millionaires sit on their 401ks.
Right.
Or their stock funds.
Well,
Like-
it's
like-
what every person who was given a stock fund or a 401k and understood the investment into it. That's what
Yeah, see,
everybody who does.
I don't think it's 401ks because there is no realized capital gain on that unless you have a stock 401k plan.
Right.
Or a physical stock account deemed under a 401k or SEP.
Right.
SEP. But that's kind of fucked up, man. I mean, think about it. So you're sitting on a stock like Tesla. You bought Tesla at 700. It fucking broke 2,000 today. Okay, so you were able to buy, I don't know, 1,000 shares at $700, 70 grand. Now you're sitting with like fucking $480,000. Yeah, we're gonna tax that. We're gonna tax that. We're gonna tax you on that. We're gonna tax you with the capital gain rate, which is based on your income brackets, depending if it's short term or long term.
Well, it's money made, but it's money
It's
you
unrealized.
could have taken, but you didn't, and they're like,
Right.
well, you should have taken it because we're charging you for it anyway.
That's fucked up.
Yeah, that is fucked up.
Yeah.
Like because like when you really look at the situation properly, it's money you could have taken. Like they're charging you for not pulling out of the stock market.
Yep.
And they said as long as you stay invested in the stock market, they're going to continue to charge you as long as you stay in it.
Fucked up. I cannot get on board with that.
No,
That's-
I mean it should never be taken that way.
Yeah, that's wrong. I mean, that could devastate the smaller people, the middle class. You see, because middle class are considered rich also.
Yes.
If you make more than $125,000 and you're married to someone who makes the same amount of money, you're considered rich. $250,000, you're rich. Put you in a higher tax bracket.
Yeah.
Put you in the 38% to 41%, depending if you got investments and shit like that. It's 38% tax, $250,000.
Mm-hmm.
But tax the rich more. Makes no sense. Government needs to. You need to stop spending other people's money. Is what you need to fucking do. And what do they want to do
Stop
now?
spending it on bullshit. Because that's my big problem. Stop spending it on bullshit. I don't want to
And
hear
that's-
about all these programs you're saying you're investing in that I see no results from. How about like build me some nice bridges, give me some nice roads, fucking reinvest my shit back into my community to where I can noticeably tell you're doing something instead of telling me that, oh well, we created things.
The whole infrastructure thing. See, you got to bring that up. That was a Clinton thing. Fixing the infrastructure which he started to do, and then everybody else abandoned it. 8 years Obama, no infrastructural changes, no infrastructural fixes, nothing. The bridges and fucking tunnels are falling
Yeah,
down
but
and caving.
don't point at Obama because Obama didn't come in on that. Obama came in after Bush, so Bush is the one that dropped the ball.
Yeah, but I'm saying
Okay,
from
no. What you did was you tried to politicize it till you're left it. You just did. You ignored the
gets a
fact that
pass.
you
Bush gets
ignored
a
the fact that a
pass.
Republican did something in between it, and you
Bush
tried to
gets-
sit there and say, "Look, see, Obama didn't fucking do nothing about it," and that's
Bush
just
gets a pass,
wrong.
bro.
Stop that. Stop that.
Bush-
Stop that.
Bush
That's a
gets
bad
pass.
boy. That's a
Walked into
bad boy.
fucking
Stop that.
war. He gets a pass. He walked into a war where all of our spending needed to be put towards military funding. He gets a pass. He fucking inherited that, stepped on it, walked into it, shit in his mouth, and took a rap for the whole goddamn thing. Obama stopped the war, pulled the troops, and did nothing with infrastructure. Nothing.
Even
But-
though Obama didn't stop the war, or actually really pull the troops either, but
Well, I mean, he pulled most of the troops, but you can't pull all the troops. I'm sorry. You have to have people in fucking Lebanon and Cuba and at the fucking demilitarized zone in between the Koreas and Afghanistan. You pull all the troops out of Afghanistan, and that's it. Someone will just take over that fucking place. And we need to protect the oil. It's one of the United States' job, along with NATO, is to protect the oil. That's a fact. It's not that we want it, although we do want it, but it has to be protected because look what happened when we didn't protect it. Some motherfuckers set the oil fields on fire.
we
And then
were
what'd we
over there
do?
when they did that.
Well, yeah, we were over there when they did. That was fucking the lunatic that they found in a hole in the ground. Set 'em
That
on
was
fire.
Kuwait that got set on fire by Saddam.
Yeah, Saddam Hussein set it fucking on fire, asshole.
Yes. Yeah, set
We
on
just-
pretty much all of Kuwait got set on fire.
Yeah.
Which I found very interesting to find out. I've always been one of those people that was like, well, if you dropped like a nuclear bomb, wouldn't it just turn the entire place to glass? And then it's like you saw how that place burned in the 90s and you were like, all right, so maybe not. Maybe it would just char forever.
Right? It's a lot of fucking oil down there.
Yeah,
allegedly.
man. Oil
Yes.
sand is really weird looking too.
Yeah. $47 billion from the Obama administration was put towards transportation projects. I can't tell you one bridge I've gone over that was fixed in the last, 30 years.
Yeah,
Well,
well,
may-
it's definitely something. We need another deal. We need another new deal
Well-
for our country. We need something to actually rebuild us because not for anything, like the change really didn't happen, and making America great, that's not really happening either. So like we need somebody who's going to come in and actually put the country first and all this bullshit politics out of the way. And Trump is definitely not the guy that's going to do that.
830 billion stimulus package. 48 billion 2 years for transportation infrastructure. That was 2010.
Yeah. Yeah, there's a
Include-
lot of money that hasn't been spent towards projects that, like I said, that are noticeable. That's what I want to see. I want to see noticeable reform of where our money's going. Like, I think that's the biggest problem a lot of people have in this country for anything is you tell us there's all these programs, you tell us there's all these things going on, but I can't physically fucking find any of this shit. Like, we spent this many hundreds of millions of dollars into, healthcare for, like, the Planned Parenthood place, like when it's a Democratic place that's saying that that's where they're investing. But then you go and you look, and Planned Parenthood tells you they don't have no fucking money.
Yeah.
And that they're having to close facilities left and fucking right because they ain't getting no money. So one person's telling you they're giving them money, and the other person's going, but we ain't seen a check yet. But the money's still going somewhere.
The biggest problem with the and it wasn't Obama's fault. I'm going to make that perfectly clear. It was not Obama's fault. It was the wording of the transportation bill that was set forth, and it was called a stimulus package. Okay, $830 billion stimulus package. $48 billion in 2 years for transportation infrastructures. But states started to go broke. And because of the wording of the stimulus package, the states could take that money and use it for other things because stimulus is an injection of money into the economy.
Right.
That's what a stimulus package is. And I know you know that. I'm just saying that for people who out there are listening.
Well, anybody out there listening's also heard it several times over the past couple of months because that's what this is being called too, is a stimulus package. So,
right. So those
it's a very
bridges
familiar term with people who've been involved with the past 2 presidents.
Sure. Now, New York, New Jersey didn't fuck around with their transportation money. I mean, New York built how many bridges? We built the Bayonne. We built the Goethals, the Outer Bridge, all 4 bridges leading into New York City or into New York from New Jersey were pretty much either rebuilt from the ground up or resurfaced and fixed. Can't say much about that overpass down the block from your house in any fucking state. Can't mention that. Don't know. I haven't really seen much construction being done on shit like that.
We've had a couple here within our city.
How's your highways? They got to be like perfect.
Who, ours?
Yeah. Smooth, nice.
I mean, we've just recently had crews coming through and doing work on Interstate 40. So
I mean, I know the 3.
They're doing the on-off ramps right now.
The 3 majors in Jersey were all repaved, and one of them from top to bottom, start to finish. That was like 140 miles of roadway paved.
Well, see, ours actually a Clinton-era construction project that redid our highways. Here is what we're on now. Like, we got widened, we got new bridges, but that was that long ago. And those I'm not concerned about, but I know there are other areas, like leaving Greensboro, and you start to go into some other areas where you take state highways and stuff like that. Like, that's an interstate I'm talking about. That is a federal highway.
Yeah.
You know, so when I talk about I-40, that's that. But when I look at the state highways, our state highways haven't gotten that same kind of love.
Yeah, well, the federal any kind of federal highway that comes out of the Federal Highway Trust Fund.
Right.
Yeah, that money is totally allocated differently, and most states use like I-95 is a federal highway.
Right. I-95.
So
all of your interstate thoroughways are.
Yeah, that's state money.
Yeah, that's. No, all your state highways are state money. All of your interstates. I-70,
Yes.
I-40, I-10, 95. What is that? I-1 in California.
Yeah. And that money is usually split between 2 states that it's connecting.
No. Your interstates do definitely way more than 2 states. Well, Interstate 40 goes from here to California.
Right, but the term interstate...
I-95 goes from New York all the way down to Florida.
Yeah, all the way to Florida. And the money that it
actually, it goes from Maine, doesn't it?
I think so.
I think it's all the way up.
The money shared, the cost to fix that is shared amongst the interstates. So here it would be New York, New Jersey.
You share the cost with the federal government.
Right, New York, New Jersey, or New Jersey and Pennsylvania.
No. The federal government and the state that the highway is in share the cost. You don't share the cost with your neighbor.
I thought you did it.
No.
It was a 50% capital.
No, not maybe at border sections that they would cross over and share some of the pathing, but
I mean, see over here we've got the you got your New York, New Jersey Bridge and Tunnel Authority, which includes Pennsylvania also. So that money's all shared.
Yeah, that money could be shared for that system, but like
that's
down here,
stuff.
Down here, like I said, we have the North Carolina Department of Transportation, the DOT. And they're not. There's no North Carolina, South Carolina Department of Transportation. There's we don't have that where we're messing with any of our other states. Ours is shared. The state and the state money, federal money do those projects. That's why the state invest into the federal packages. It saves them a little bit of money, and you don't see as much money invested into those state highways over the duration. Like to go down my interstate, it's nice. To be in like some of my city roads, some of them are okay according to where you're at. You see where they keep money at, but then if you go and you start looking at like to go from Greensboro to High Point, you can tell that that area is not getting the same kind of care.
Infrastructure, building, infrastructure, construction should not be outsourced. Major fucking problem. The last 3 administrations outsourced it. It
Aspalucin.
created no fucking jobs. $830 billion created no new jobs.
No, because it was all it was these paving companies that were already massive anyway.
Yes.
Like if you go and you look at like some of the highway building companies, there's not very many of them.
No, I see it a lot because with the tenant here, IDK, working in the insurance industry, driving around, and we'll be going down the road and a fucking paving truck's out. And she's like, "Oh yeah, I insure that company." But yeah, they're a $660 billion company. What happened to DOT? I mean, I watched those guys paint lines. Why can't they fucking pave roads? Why? Second biggest problem with infrastructure, and I see this, and Ren, I know you can fucking attest to this too. It's something called the shovel first plan. Let's not repave it. Let's shovel asphalt into a hole.
Oh yeah,
We'll just
Patching.
fix it. Well, fix it.
Patching.
Yes, that don't work.
We
That
like
don't-
to call them up here the pothole gangs.
Yeah, I got a fucking pothole in front of the house. No matter what you do, I watch them fill this fucking hole every 3 months. It's there again.
and
I'm
it
gonna
gets deeper, and they still don't do shit about it because it just gets bigger
Yep.
and deeper, and they see that their last patch didn't really hold anything. That's one thing I'd like to see us do like Germany does with a lot of their shit. Now, you want to talk about a place that's got great fucking roads all over the country.
Dude, they take the whole fucking road out down the dirt and put a new
They
one
cut a
in.
whole, they go, oh, there's a crack here, and they cut like a whole section of road out, like 20 feet on this side of the crack, 20 feet on that side of the crack, and fucking
Yeah.
shoom, both sides, the fucking lanes on both sides. That road is sectioned off for the time period it takes to repair, and they're fucking
Yeah.
whoop, whoop. All right, that's all new road from the bottom up.
What I will say about certain states, I know there are quite a few that do this. I live in one that does it. Our major roads, the New Jersey Parkway, okay, the Parkway from top to bottom, it's concrete, and then they asphalt over that. And there's like 4 layers of asphalt on top of the concrete. So the base of the entire New Jersey Parkway is concrete. When they pave that shit, it's smooth as glass and lasts a good 4 years. We've seen sections of the Garden State Parkway where they experimented by adding seashells into it. That shit lasted 8 to 10 years. In a torrential downpour, while driving on that section, Ren, I know you can agree with this, you could shut your windshield wipers off. No spray coming up. It was like it wasn't raining all of a sudden, But when Jersey does paving, they rip the fucking street up, basically back down to its core, the concrete, and then fucking pave it again. That's why the Parkway's so nice. Turnpike's a whole nother story because they don't pave it. It's all concrete, except for, most of high-rise sections of it are all concrete. The rest is asphalt, like by the airports and shit like that. What they should do is lay concrete on top of the asphalt. It works everywhere else. Then you leave the tri-state area, Driving down to Thump, gonna go see Thump. Everything's fucking concrete, perfect. The bump, the thump, the dump, the dump, perfect. Maybe a little pothole here and there. Half the Staten Island expressways are concrete.
Everybody's got a pothole somewhere.
Yeah, the Staten Island expressways, concrete, poured in 1970. It's still perfect. Absolutely perfect. Every now and then, maybe the cracks, joints separate a little too much and it breaks up. They'll come in and fix that by shoving asphalt in there. I hate when they do that, but it's still a sheet of glass. Perfect. Concrete. Infrastructure is majorly important in this country, and it has been lacking for the last 25 years. Okay? 25 years. Didn't we just have bridges fall not too long ago? Fucking thing fell into an ocean. Ba-doom, down it went. We had that happen in Maine. We had that happen in California. We had that happen somewhere else, too, if I'm not mistaken. It just fucking collapsed.
Yeah, and that's inexcusable. I mean, the fact that
that's
you would
totally
have a piece of infrastructure, active infrastructure, even remotely close to being at risk of catastrophic failure.
Yes. HTF needs to be fixed, period. Highway Trust Fund needs to be fixed. That's the Federal National Freight Network.
Right.
That's important. That's very important. You know, infrastructure. I don't know which president candidate is backing infrastructure. I mean, I know Trump has.
Well, at this point, it's not even about that. Like, that's just it, man. This you can already tell this election's not. It's not even about that.
No,
it's not about anything. Nobody's saying anything about what they want to do. There's no talk about real getting anything for the country. There's, we need to beat the other person. That's it. Well, that's all they're saying.
Because I watched a whole TV interview with I don't know 3 top political analysts, and they all said the same thing. That shit doesn't exist anymore because it was too costly, too much of an endeavor.
All right, man.
Too costly, too much of an endeavor, and too much teaching. There used to be a time where the Democratic National Convention and the Republican National Convention was a place where the policies would be on the table. This is, like Thumb said, this is what I want to do. This is what I think is right for America. This is what I'm going to do. This is what's good for you. Now, like Thumb said, flat out, that other guy's an asshole. Vote for me.
Yeah.
He's a dick. He's a dick.
And then everybody else comes up and says the same thing. It's like, that other motherfucker, man, is just going to continue to be a motherfucker. And this election, your life depends on this election. You need to vote for our guy. And it's like.
See, that's where I was disappointed with Obama. Because he was so eloquent, spoke about the issues and problems that this nation is facing as a whole.
Yeah.
And then turned around and said, I really wish, Trump would have taken his job seriously instead of being a douchebag. And I'm sitting here and I'm going, well, wait a second. It's kind of like baseball, okay? Fernando Tatis took shit, had to apologize after a baseball game because he broke the unwritten rule. It's like football. When you're up 52-10, you kneel down on the ball. You don't get the first down because if you score more points, you're a bad boy. No president is supposed to bash a prior president. It's an unwritten rule. Same situation. So I was a little disappointed by that. But so far, it's only been fucking Obama to come out and tell the people what the fuck's wrong with the country, and this is
and
how
address it as an overarching issue for all people.
Yeah. Yeah, and of course it's going to be, hey, vote for Joe Biden because it is the Democratic National Convention. You're going to see the same thing.
Yeah, but we all know that we don't think that's who he wanted either, man.
No, but it was funny to hear him say, wow, I'm really surprised that, Joe's going to follow some of my policies. Meanwhile, you didn't even fucking endorse this guy to the last minute.
Nah, like, that's the weirdest part about that whole, like, nod, too. It's like, what is really going on when the president doesn't even give his VP the nod until like everybody else has already said, so he's going to be the guy, and he's like, all right, fuck.
Can anybody tell me what a vice president has ever done? Is there any vice president that you know that did something important?
No, everything I can remember about vice presidents is the gaffes.
Yeah.
Like we had a VP shoot a guy in the head
Yeah.
and be like, "Oops, my bad."
Shot.
We had one try to spell potato.
Yeah, who was that?
That was a Quail.
Oh right, yeah, Dan Quayle.
That was a Quail issue. I mean, so like the shit you remember about VPs is kind of the gaffes.
Yeah, I don't remember anything that a vice president has done, and you would go, oh wow, that was good for the country.
Well,
All I know is-
shockingly, more memorable stuff has come from the first lady's position than
Well,
has
that's
from the
important
VP
position.
position.
Sure, that's an important position because they usually take up education or school reform or lunch meals or
Even
something.
though it's technically not a political office.
No.
And doesn't have any obligation.
Yeah.
To the office of presidency, but it is interesting that if you go back, more notable stuff has come from the first lady of a president than has come from the acting VP in a lot of cases.
Yeah. Okay. So here's my question. Our last vice president was Biden. Our current vice president is Pence. Okay, that's 5 years. Tell me something they've done without going to Google or Alexa or anywhere else. Is there? You can't even. Wait, he met with the Chinese president because Trump couldn't be there, or
yeah,
Obama
it's
couldn't
always
be there.
really odd, insignificant stuff, and usually what and I say he because up until Kamala, we haven't had a female potential VP. So, like, well, I mean, we had a couple other females, but nobody ever made it. So, I mean,
Yeah.
we're looking right now at the next possible VP, but they don't. They're the person who sits in the chair in what is it, the House,
Yes.
and goes. Yeah, the president will take a look at that.
Maybe we should go back to the fucking 1830s where people actually ran for vice president.
I like the part where you ran for president, and if you didn't get the nod, like Bernie Sanders would be Biden's VP right now because he was
Yeah.
number 2.
Yeah, that was what? The days of JF. No,
No,
I want to say
no, it was back
Altamont.
further than that. It's an old way of doing things. But like
I
stuff
mean,
like that, like why not number 1 and number 2 of that side? Why not make those your guys? Even though they may not politically agree eye to eye, it keeps both of them a little bit more honest, right?
Yeah, I mean,
When you've got two political adversaries that are also running mates, like doesn't that kind of help straighten that level of government out instead of letting them pick a buddy that's just going to sit there and shut up?
well, Andrew Jackson was the vice president because he was elected to it.
Yeah, sure, that's
He's
fine too.
elected
I'll
to-
go for that idea as well. But I'm saying I like the fact of still having some kind of contention
Yes.
amongst the group, like to know that this person is going to be like, wait, are you sure that's what you want to do? Instead of just having a yes man, because most vice presidents for quite some time now have just been yes men. They're not there. They're either the arm candy to help win an election in some cases, shit like that. Like it's never like, because that's what Pence was to Trump.
Yeah.
Pence
Yeah,
was
yeah.
the arm candy to get that diehard, like the Christian vote, because people had their doubts about Trump's loyalty to God. So that's what Pence was. Pence was the arm candy. He sweetened the fucking deal for the party. They were like, all right, now we like this. But I like the fact of keep
One
these
thing,
motherfuckers arguing. Let a VP call a son of a bitch out for being a douchebag. You know, some
Yeah.
motherfucker that was like, look, I told you during the primaries that shit wasn't cool. We ain't doing that shit now. Like, where is that? Like, I thought that was part of the checks and balances of government was to have motherfuckers always checking motherfuckers.
Allegedly, Dan Quayle was like a really good vice president.
He had a
He allegedly
Historic.
performed in.
he had a historic presidency to
Yeah,
tailor along with that. So
but allegedly he was a really good vice president. But again, sorry, I'm 50 years old. I started following politics probably in like junior high school. I don't know, let's say 12, 13 years old.
yeah, I was gonna say it was middle school that I was in when we really got thrust into the environment of trying to understand your local politics, like what
So,
voting was.
I'm going to round it off to 35 years, period. 35 years. So in the last 35 years, however many presidents have held office in that time, I can't tell you one thing that a vice president has done. I have no fucking clue what any of them have ever done besides
Of major significance to a presidency.
you know,
Head of the Senate as the tie-breaking vote.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. He's the guy
Yeah.
that essentially goes, all right, yeah, the president will take a look at that.
Yeah, right. The Senate has a tie-breaking vote. The head, and then after that, it's Pelosi, right? The head of the House gets the second vote or some crap like that. It's set up that the Senate is more important than the House. That's why this even our president came out today and said, "Well, what the fuck is Pelosi doing, telling all these people to come to the House to talk about the post office problem?" The post office is run by the Senate. In case anybody didn't know that, it's the Senate's job to run the post office. They're the only ones who can tell or say what the post office to do.
Right, but the House can make injunctions that
Yeah, sure.
they can make injunctions that they would like to see the Senate take
Yeah.
a look at, and
Right,
which
so
is
I'm
why
happy with that.
she's trying to get the pressure down there because they want to talk about it and they don't feel that the Senate's kind of doing it.
I need. I'll drink to that. Got another one for you. I'll drink to that. Trump gets reelected, hypothetically. Okay. How many days before they try to impeach him again?
Oh, I think you'll hear about proceedings going right in off the bat. Like it will be probably the Democrats' number one like philosophy day one of it being announced that he's president.
I think so too.
They'll
I think
they'll
take
they'll
3
immediately probably try and start it again. And I mean, for what it's worth, I honestly don't know why like they're wasting their time on it. But like I said, just about like even with the DNC, like with that convention, like everything seems to be not about like a battling message, but just a fight. It's just about battling, and it's the weirdest political climate to sit and look at. Even back when it was Hillary and Trump going at each other, I felt the same way about that. That I'm like, why are we just looking at people just bash on each other? Nobody's really laying out any real plans. Like, nobody really knew what the fuck Trump was going to do when he got into office. When you looked at all of that shit, everybody was just so riled up by the fact of active combat against the fucking other Americans for some reason. And it was like, what is really going on? Like, people, calm down. This is not the UFC, and we are not supposed to be here for fight night. It is not hype like that. Like, you're the only one, all of us are the only ones that are going to be affected by allowing this type of shenanigans to continue to take place in our political spectrum.
I knew Trump would be a good businessman to run the country. I think a lot of people knew that, despite what you think of. Well, you know, he fucking bankrupted X amount of companies. Go look at the companies, go figure it out, do the financials. Sometimes filing for bankruptcy is the fucking most advantageous thing to do after running a company for 5 or 6 years. You see it all the time, but whatever. Anyway, I thought he was a good businessman to run the country. My fear with Trump was his foreign policy. I've said this 1,000 times.
Yeah,
What
which
the
is
fuck
kind
does
of a
the guy do?
pigeonhole situation for him still at this point.
Foreign policy's great.
I don't necessarily agree with that philosophy on it. I don't know what the real handlers are out here doing. Because his stances on like how he feels about Russia and how he feels about China and how he feels about North Korea, and that the projection he gives the American people about his stance with the world around him is a little too carefree. He's very loose about some people that need staunch handling. I mean, not for anything. To be loose about Putin in any way, shape, or form is ridiculous, because that is a presidential dictator.
True.
Like he is one of the craziest political figures I've ever seen, because he's been allowed to do what he's done in that country, where he's changed political opposition. He's not always been president, but he's always been the top guy. Like, he restructures their government so that his position is the most prominent position. And he's like, are you ready? We're going to swap jobs so that I'm not still that guy for a little while. And the other guy's like, all right. It's like, what is really
What else is he
going
gonna
on?
say? I'll kill you if you don't. What's the thing in the news today? There's somebody in Russia recovering from being poisoned who was part of the government.
Oh yeah, that's constant in Russia.
Yeah, but it's just
Constant.
nuts. But I don't think I'd be so whimsical about, oh, Putin's not a bad guy. Putin's da-da-da-da-da. I don't know if I would, like, he's so loose with how he talks about some of what should be some of the most aggressively targeted people on this planet.
It
The
seems
leader
funny-
of the Chinese Empire, the leader of North Korea, and the leader of Russia need to be our highest priorities of watching, because these three countries definitely have no love for us.
No, you're right. And it's funny, Ren, that you say that with the poisoning and all. 'cause
I'm looking for the.
And I
name
like
right now.
Russian people. Don't think I'm fucking around when I say this, Genya. I mean, not for anything. You're here. You're not
The
there.
Russian government definitely fucking gases or poisons. That was the whole fucking thing like 3, 4, 5 years ago with the Russian operative who was poisoned. That's what the Russians do. In the United States, we just murder people.
Yeah, well, I mean, look, now
Look at the
that's you're gonna
look at
dive
the
into
Clintons.
another little hole there that
Yeah, but look
I
at the
don't.
Clintons. It's up
Yeah,
to
see, I knew.
64
You didn't have to say. Look at what I'm about to say. I said you
Yeah.
were about to say.
So you get 68 fucking people there backing a platform, a president,
Well,
a
how about-
presidential, whatever.
How
And
about
in Russia, you just fucking gas people.
how
or
about
stick them
North
in the-
Korea? How about North Korea? How about what Kim Jong just did recently? So he's personally offended by the way North Koreans of status have dogs. So he's ordered the confiscation of all of these dogs within the capital cities. It's like, what are you doing? Like, why? And that's why I just don't, like, I don't understand how you could be so nonchalant. You say, oh, his foreign policy is amazing. And I'm like, dude, these are not people you should be talking like this about these people. Like, these people, we need to treat these people sternly. Because, look, not for nothing, I completely believe that Putin believes that Trump is a joke.
Yeah. I don't disagree with that either.
That he would willingly say, how about this? Instead of fighting a war, can I just beat you up? Like, I believe Putin would hands down challenge him to just one-on-one, hand-to-hand combat. And he would be like, look, I'll leave the U.S. alone for 100 fucking years. I will put it in our Constitution. If I could just kick your ass.
Right. I want to apologize for any vice presidents out there I may have offended. I have looked up your job. And now I understand why I don't know what it is the fuck you do. Because as vice president, you do nothing. The job of the vice president, he is the head of command of the Senate. But
That's what
no
I said. Head of the
president,
Senate.
yes, no president has intervened with the Senate since fucking Walter Mondale. 1977 was the. They also what the fuck else did they do? Oh yeah, his other job is to be there in case the president dies, and then he takes over.
Right.
After that, it's pretty much up to the sitting president to say, I don't want to go to that meeting. You go. You go. You do it. I want to play golf.
Yeah, they're
You-
arm candy.
Yeah, you do that, and don't get hurt.
They're
because if-
arm candy. They're bottom bitches. Like like think of all of the. That's why I said, man, if our VPs were like they used to be back in the day, like a political adversary at one point,
Yeah.
fighting for that position, I believe that level of contention is necessary. That way, a motherfucker can step in and be like,
Since 1953, that would be Richard Nixon. Since 1953, no vice president has stepped into the Senate floor. But that's the boss of the Senate. That's who the head of the Senate reports to, is the vice president. That's the man for the Senate. But no vice president has even stepped foot on the Senate floor unless it was, deemed subpoenaed. So yeah, the vice president.
What?
doesn't-
Biden hung out in his chair all the time.
Well, yeah, hung out in his chair, not on the Senate floor.
Yeah, no, he just occupied his podium that he had to. He comes in, and sets into the Senate, and sets up there in his chair and
Then
listens
got up
to
and
him
left
banter back and forth a little bit, and then goes, "Yeah, the president will check that out."
yeah.
That's why I
Yeah.
said they're glorified yes men to a really weird extent. They're like the guy that you have to talk to before you get to talk to the president, like that guy at the meeting. Before you go in to actually talk with the guy who's doing your interview, you got to talk to the receptionist. Like that's it.
I mean,
Oh,
with
he doesn't
Biden-
want to talk to you today. He knows all that information. Oh, look, the president doesn't want to talk to this motherfucker today. You got to go. The president don't want to talk to you.
Biden and Obama hung out a lot in the Oval Office. It was like, I will say that Biden was Obama's like fucking right-hand man. I mean,
They
he-
were the
even-
most buddies that you had seen from a president and VP. I mean, not for nothing. When you see Trump out and about doing different stuff, Pence is usually trying to kind of stay close
Yeah,
by
Pence-
too. I mean,
yeah.
he's a very attentive VP to the president, but you can tell it's only to just try and stop a certain level of damage control from happening.
the best duo, allegedly. I remember this because it was 1979 or 77, whatever the fuck it was, and Jesus Christ, what was I know. I remember it. I don't know much about it. I was about 8 years old then, but historians have said that the best duo for being with each other constantly and doing things together and making things work was fucking Carter and Mondale.
I mean,
Yeah, no, I don't
Carter.
know. I don't
I
Carter's.
think Mondale was there to try and salvage Carter.
I was like, Carter had,
Okay.
yeah, but Carter
Oh.
was a series of very unfortunate events, man. Like, not
Sure,
for
yeah.
anything, Reagan should have never got credit for the Iranian hostage situation
Yeah.
because
Carter.
that was Carter. Carter was actually still actively working on that when it all got fucking settled. Like,
Look, he kept those motherfuckers alive for what, 400 days or some shit
yeah,
like that?
that was
With
like,
one
and
kill 'em all?
unfortunately, Reagan got the credit for bringing them home, but it was Carter who did it. Like, literally was the guy who was there when they came home.
Yeah, I think that was like 431 days. I'm not sure. It sounds right in my head. I don't remember. I'm not looking it up. But yeah, Carter kept them motherfuckers alive. It was 108 days or something like that. Carter kept them alive. They wanted to kill them all.
I wonder if he'll ever get not shitty credit for his presidency because like he just got such shitty like this motherfucker. They look back at his presidency as like being this real shitbag of things, and I'm like, to deal with. Do you know how hard that
create-
motherfucker worked to fucking take care of
Wasn't it-
Americans?
Wasn't that during the gas crisis too?
Yeah.
I mean, he had everything thrown at him, and that fucking dude, peanut farming motherfucker,
Peanut
created
farmer from
more
Georgia.
jobs. He created more jobs for the United States than any president before him, and maybe, I can't say after.
Well,
Trump's
because
def-
jobs
lot
are really
of
weird now about how the level of creation's capable. So
yeah, yeah. But Carter wasn't a bad president, but like you said, he just got. It's kind of like Bush. Bush steps into office and it's in the middle of a fucking war, one that his father started 10 years prior. But here he is in the middle of it. Could he have done much better or great things as president? Yeah, it's quite possible. It's definitely quite possible. The man wasn't stupid.
even though
Yeah.
he's billed as such,
Yeah. I mean, Carter was a decent president. Everybody
he was
made
also
fun-
billed as an idiot too, though.
Yeah, yeah. Well,
And they
what
were
do you want?
like, this podunk hillbilly from Georgia. But yeah, I mean, it's weird. I wonder, like I said, I wonder how long it'll take in history if Carter ever gets like a nod. Like I know people like me that have, I wasn't there for that. I am like I missed all of that stuff. I only have historical information to go back and check out on, and what I've heard versus what I went out and found out about are two different stories. Like you hear a bunch of bad mouthing shit, but you go back and you look at the real knowledge about it, and it's like, man, I don't know, man, dude fucking held his own in a shark piranha pit.
His what did Carter do? Camp David Accords. That was probably his greatest claim to fame. Was the Camp David Accord, the Panama Canal Treaty. He was responsible
It's
for
just nuts that he gets such a bad rap.
I mean, he brought the fucking canal zones to Panama and opened up the waterways back to fucking Panama, which became the greatest shipping channel.
But they're having a lot of issues down there now.
Yeah, well, yeah, of course.
Ship sizes.
Yeah.
They're trying
Yeah.
to grow again,
Yeah.
but they said in order to accommodate these super carriers that are out there now, they don't have the money for a project like that to rebuild on that scale of what's necessary. So these super carriers and these super tankers now are just going around. It saves them money just to go around.
Yeah, they can't.
But that's also part of the cause of why we're seeing more glacier melt, is because we're sending more boats through those waterways again.
Just think, in like 30 years, when the polar caps melt again, COVID will run rampant.
Yo, you've been reading those crazy ass fucking melt stories too about all the viruses, all the ancient viruses that are going to come back with the more melt.
The motherfucking plague showed up in California yesterday.
Oh,
The
well,
plague.
it's been in China. Like they had
Yeah.
at least 10 people that they busted over in China like a couple 2 months ago now, I think.
Yeah.
Maybe a month and a half ago, something like that.
Fucking plague. Are you kidding me? The plague.
I got like 8 minutes, guys.
I'm watching the time on this. I got my timer up. How about that?
That's good.
I'm trying to be more attentive. So it's
Yeah,
not
y'all
like,
must have still been chatting when she pulled the plug last
No,
time.
we ended at 10:30.
we ended at 10:30.
Oh,
and then
because when I came in, it was just the three.
Yeah, me and J7 were bullshit until like 11. I had to try and set her straight with her millennial ways. It don't work with her though.
No.
No, she still thinks Apple is doing the right thing and it's not a monopoly, and it's okay. She's right. It's not a monopoly. Apple is
In
not.
the old world terminology of what we
Yes. broke
broke up the oil company and other shit like
Tel-
that, like it's not one of those type
No.
of monopolies, but
No. But you're right. It's not. Apple is not a monopoly. Certain divisions of their businesses are a monopoly. The App Store and in-app purchasing divisions are a monopoly, and it's being shown that it's obviously it's not just Apple. I don't wanna
it's
start-
it's definitely an
It's both-
unethical practice, that's for sure.
Yeah, when you're using your power to stifle an industry, that is.
But like Ren said, also it's basic economics too. That
Yeah.
this is what every originator of something wants to do is have their product for as long as it can be their product before they
Well-
got to share revenue.
Absolutely. I love Apple. I bash them all the time. $10 up today on their stock. Go Apple. Go. Just go. Keep pushing the stock. Keep making them a fucking three-time trillion-dollar company. Don't care. Don't care. This lawsuit will not hurt them in any way, shape, or form. And even if they split them up, well, then they'll just become Apple the umbrella company. And then they'll be suing fucking Travelers Insurance going, yeah, we called ourselves an umbrella. You got to give up your logo. Because we said it. We said it, so it's ours. That's fine. Keep driving this up.
That will be one of
Right.
those weird Apple things, though, right?
Well, so I don't
Where they
want
would
all
be
your
like, all right,
said
travelers,
words.
you've got to change your logo because now that we've called ourselves the Umbrella Corporation, you gotta get rid of that so we can have our logo.
Wouldn't that be great if they came out and Alphabet used Alphabet and they just came out and flat out just to snub their nose at everyone said we're now called Umbrella?
Right?
Yeah.
I mean, it goes back to the old fights me and fucking Ren used to have with Apple, and it was like, well, Apple fired a patent this week, and no one else can have Slide to Unlock. Wait a second. Slide to Unlock was on my fucking Windows phone before Apple was even a fucking phone company, but all of a sudden, it's Apple's patent. It's Apple's. Because we said it. You guys never said Slide to Unlock. You just said lock screen. So now no one can have Slide to Unlock because we said it first.
Right. Yeah, it was.
You know,
They were
Because,
always really handy at those really weird patent.
yeah, brilliant.
The vague ones.
Yeah,
They come at the vague patents.
They were like, we detailed it a little bit better, so it's ours now.
They're a fucking troll.
Well, think about everything that they've been great at. You know, they weren't the first to come out with an MP3 player,
Oh, you
but the
know.
iPod came out and they stole the entire market. They're not the first ones to come out with a smartwatch, but they have the entire market of smartwatches.
I mean, do you remember? I mean, and I know Ren will remember, but fucking, what was that, 1998 or some shit like that? I had an entire MP3 system in my car. Nobody even had a fucking. There was no such thing as an iPod. If you wanted some sort of music digital player, you had to go to Creative Labs to buy theirs. That was the only one on the.
And they were the first ones to come out with a portable MP3 player, too.
And then I put one in the car. I had a whole fucking system. I had a goddamn 40 gig hard drive in a trunk on a removable tray. You just turn a key, take that. Still have it downstairs, by the way. So yeah, but all of a sudden, MP3 player. It's iPod.
I would have slammed that MP3 player in the old Jeep. Probably would have fit. Probably would have worked.
Still works. I have it. It's right, and it's back in its original box in its original packing. I still have it. It fucking works. The only problem is you can't put more than a 40 gig drive in it. The company who made it is dead, and the operating system was cut off at 40 gigs because who the fuck's going to need more than 40 gigs? Well, you got to remember, I mean, you know, when digital music first came out, it was Napster.
But if you think about 40 gigs, I mean, how many CDs is that?
Dude, I'm sitting with 100 and something gig hard drive packed to the hilt right now with music on it.
See, I'm all in the cloud now.
I
I
got,
just pay for it. Don't care.
well, see now, but do you remember?
Spotify, Apple Music. I don't care where you go. It's
I want to
just
dial up.
simple.
I want to dial up my music. It's like the other day I'm in the car.
Why
and I'm like,
can't you just go and create your playlist of your music, all of it, in a higher quality
because
from
first
the
off,
service?
there is no higher quality than what I have because everything I have is 320 CD ripped. But the big problem there, and the reason why I never got involved with the streaming media is because some of my artists said, fuck you. Couldn't listen to Tool
But
for
now
10
you can.
fucking years. Well, now you can.
Yeah.
But I have it all right there, right here in the cloud. Google let me put every one of my fucking songs in the cloud for free. 53,000 songs in the cloud. Free. I'll
There
take
you
that.
go.
So I drive
All right,
around.
let's wrap this up
whatever
so
you want.
they can go to work.
Yeah, 8-Bit Bros. Tuesday we'll be back. Today is Thursday. Go check your highlights on whatever fucking crap is tonight to get a good laugh. DNC, RNC, whatever the fuck. Enjoy the non-Met game this weekend since them fuckers got COVID. And we'll be back Tuesday with whatever kind of bullshit we want to bring to the table. Maybe a game.
Maybe.
Yeah, we need to talk about a guest too. Mr. Bob Long wants to come on, have a chat. Mr. Bob Long.
Cool.
So we'll work it all out. 8-Bit Bros, Thursday, late edition. Peace. We're out. Yeah.